Nobody saw this coming. Just when fans thought the love and hip-hop world had calmed down, Kirk Frost dropped a bombshell that's shaking everything to its core. According to new reports, Kirk has uncovered shocking details about Mendeecees Harris's secret life, and what he found allegedly involves not one, but two women, Erica, Mena, and Selma. The revelations are wild, the connections are messy, and Yandy Smith is said to be completely devastated. It all started with whispers behind the scenes, quiet conversations among producers, suspicious messages, and unexplained absences. But when Kirk finally went public with what he knew, everything changed. He hinted that Mendeecees had been living double, juggling relationships and lies that even his closest friends didn't know about. And that's not all. Sources claim Yandy had already been feeling distance between them, but she never expected this level of betrayal. When she finally confronted the truth, things allegedly spiraled into a full emotional breakdown, leaving cast members stunned. Erica, Mena, and Selma's names being brought into the mix only added fuel to the fire. And now everyone's asking the same question. How deep does this go? Because if Kirk's claims are true, this isn't just relationship drama. It's the kind of scandal that could destroy friendships, expose long-held secrets, and change the dynamic of love and hip-hop forever. The day Kirk Frost went public with his claims, the entire love and hip-hop circle was thrown into complete chaos. It wasn't a casual leak or a passing comment. It was a full-blown revelation that seemed carefully timed, deliberate, and aimed to expose Mendeecees Harris in a way no one expected. Kirk had gone live late at night, clearly frustrated, and within minutes, tens of thousands of fans had joined. His tone was serious, his expression cold, and his message simple. Y'all don't really know the half of it. Mendeecees been playing a dangerous game. Those words instantly set the internet ablaze. Comments started flooding in, demanding answers. Fans wanted to know what Kirk meant, and most importantly, who else was involved. Then Kirk said something that made jaws drop across the screen. Ask Erica, ask Selma, they know. That one sentence was enough to set off a storm. Within minutes, blogs and gossip pages were reposting the clip. Kirk exposes Mendeecees' affairs. Read one headline. Another said, Erica, Mena, and Selma caught in Mendeecees' secret life. The names alone were enough to make it go viral. Erica had already been through a string of messy relationships. And Selma, who had recently joined the cast, was known for stirring the pot in her own way. Backstage sources revealed that Mendeecees had been acting distant for weeks. He wasn't responding to texts from castmates, and Yandy Smith, his longtime partner, was growing suspicious. He started being real secretive, one crew member said. He wasn't showing up to meetings, skipping scenes, and every time someone brought up Kirk's name, he'd shut down. It didn't take long for Yandy to see Kirk's video. Within an hour of it going live, fans were tagging her in every post. Girl, speak your truth. One user wrote, don't let them play you like this. Another said, but Yandy didn't respond publicly. Instead, she went silent. No tweets, no Instagram stories, no interviews. Just silence, and that silence spoke volumes. Meanwhile, Erica Mena took to Instagram with a cryptic message of her own. She posted a picture of herself looking unbothered, captioned, don't ask me about nobody else's business. I'm good. But the timing was too perfect. Fans immediately connected it to Kirk's video, and within hours, her comments were flooded with questions. So you and Mendeecees, is this why you and Yandy stopped following each other? Selma, on the other hand, wasn't as calm. She jumped on a live of her own and started addressing what she called nonsense. People love to drag my name into stuff I got nothing to do with, she said. Kirk needs to mind his own business before I start talking about what he got going on. That statement only fueled the speculation. The way she said it, with confidence and irritation, made people believe she wasn't as innocent as she claimed. Behind closed doors, things between Yandy and Mendeecees were tense. Sources close to the couple said that the video led to a massive argument at home. Yandy allegedly confronted Mendeecees directly, asking him point-blank if the rumors were true. She told him if there's even a little truth in what Kirk said, we're done. One insider revealed. He tried to deny it at first, but Yandy's not stupid. She knows when something's off. According to people who know Mendeecees, his reaction wasn't one of guilt, but of anger. He felt betrayed that Kirk, someone he once called a friend, would air out his name like that. He said Kirk was just doing this for attention, a close associate claimed. He said he's tired of people trying to use his name for clout. But what really made things worse was what came next. Kirk didn't stop with one video. The following night, he went live again, saying he was tired of protecting people who didn't deserve it. He didn't name names this time, but he talked about a man pretending to be perfect and how his lady don't even know half of what he's been doing. He then held up his phone, scrolling through what appeared to be screenshots. "I got receipts," he said, "and trust me, if they keep coming for me, I'll drop every one." Fans went wild. The comments exploded. Drop them receipts. Tag names. Expose them all. By morning, Kirk's name was trending on social media. The blogs had a field day dissecting every second of his lives. Some called him petty for getting involved, while others praised him for keeping it real. Either way, Mendeecees' reputation took a serious hit. Yandy, meanwhile, had reportedly broken down in tears during a private call with one of her close friends. She said she felt humiliated. The friend said, "She's been loyal for years, and now she's finding out things through the internet. It's too much for her. As if things couldn't get worse." An anonymous source leaked text messages to a gossip page claiming to show conversations between Mendeecees and someone labeled only as E. The messages were flirty, with lines like, "I miss that smile and you can't tell nobody about this." Fans immediately assumed E stood for Erica Mena, though there was no confirmation. Still, the resemblance in writing style and timing made it hard to ignore. When reporters reached out to Erica for comment, she laughed it off, saying people love to connect dots that don't exist. But fans weren't convinced. If it's not true, why keep responding? One user commented, "Selma, meanwhile, began acting defensive." In one of her follow-up posts, she said, "Y'all keep dragging me into a story I ain't part of. But if y'all knew the truth about how this whole thing started, you'd be shocked." That cryptic message left fans divided. Was she hinting at something bigger, or just trying to deflect? Meanwhile, Mendeecees remained uncharacteristically quiet. Normally, he would go live to defend himself or post something inspirational to keep fans guessing. But this time, nothing. No denial, no explanation, just silence. Kirk, however, wasn't done. In a later interview, he claimed he only went public because he was tired of being painted as the bad guy, while others hid behind lies. "People always got something to say about me and Rashida," he said. But what about them? What about the ones pretending to be perfect while they doing worse? That line struck a chord with fans. Many started revisiting old episodes, looking for signs, moments when Mendeecees seemed distant. When Yandy looked unsure, when Erica or Selma crossed paths with him, theories began circulating that this wasn't new, that the tension had been building for months behind the scenes by the end of the week. Production insiders confirmed that the show's producers were scrambling to figure out how to handle the fallout. "They want to capitalize on the drama," one source admitted. "They're already planning to bring cameras into the conversation and get everyone's reaction on film." But Yandy wasn't having it. "She doesn't want to film right now," the source said. "She's embarrassed. She feels like everyone's talking about her life like it's a script, and she's not ready to relive that on camera." For fans, it was one of the most explosive scandals Love and Hip Hop had seen in years, and it was only getting started. Because Kirk had promised one thing at the end of his second live. "Y'all think this is over? Trust me, I got more to show. The truth always comes out." And that statement alone had everyone wondering what else did Kirk know that he hadn't said yet. The fallout from Kirk's bombshell didn't take long to explode. Within hours, the Love and Hip Hop cast group chat was in chaos. Screenshots were flying, phones were ringing, and alliances began to shift overnight. Mendeecees' name was suddenly everywhere, trending across social media. dissected on fan blogs, and picked apart by gossip pages. People wanted answers. But the more everyone dug, the messier it got, according to several insiders close to the situation. Kirk had been sitting on this information for weeks before finally going public. He'd reportedly caught wind of private conversations, voice notes, and even a few late-night rendezvous that didn't sit right with him. When he confronted Mendeecees privately, things got tense. Kirk allegedly told him, "If you're going to play this game, at least don't involve people who got families and reputations to protect." That was the warning before everything blew up. When Kirk's accusations hit social media, Mena was the first name people latched onto. She immediately went live, calling the rumors ridiculous and beneath her, insisting she had no involvement with Mendeecees. But fans weren't convinced. They began digging up old photos, matching dates, and pointing out that Erica and Mendeecees had been seen at multiple industry events together, often without Yandy. One particular clip from a behind-the-scenes shoot resurfaced, where the chemistry between them seemed undeniable. That alone reignited the storm. Meanwhile, Yandy was struggling to keep her composure. Those close to her say she had been noticing subtle changes in Mendeecees' behavior: late-night phone calls, unexplained trips, and an emotional distance that didn't make sense. When the rumors finally hit her phone, she reportedly broke down in tears. She didn't want to believe it. After all, they'd survived prison time, distance, and reality TV chaos together. But hearing Kirk's name attached to the story made it harder to dismiss. Kirk wasn't known for lying. Messy, yes, but not dishonest. Selma's involvement only deepened the mystery. She had been quietly connected to Mendeecees through mutual business projects, studio sessions, brand collaborations, and charity work. At first, it all seemed professional, but once Kirk mentioned her name, fans started connecting dots she never wanted exposed. Messages allegedly showed friendly banter that might have crossed a few boundaries. And suddenly, Selma was being dragged into a scandal she claimed she knew nothing about. She tried to deny everything, but the screenshots told a different story: emojis, inside jokes, and conversations at odd hours that didn't exactly look innocent. By this point, Yandy couldn't escape the storm. Every time she opened her phone, there was another headline, another post, another fan tagging her name. Insiders say she confronted Mendeecees directly in private, demanding the truth. What followed was a heated exchange that allegedly ended with her screaming, "You embarrassed me in front of the world." Mendeecees tried to defend himself, claiming Kirk exaggerated the whole situation to stir drama for attention. But Yandy wasn't buying it. Her trust had already been cracked. And now it was splintering completely. The tension between Kirk and Mendeecees escalated quickly too. What started as a private conversation turned into public shots being fired. In one interview snippet, Kirk hinted, "I don't expose nobody unless they cross me." Fans took that as a warning that more receipts might be coming. And sure enough, a few days later, blurred screenshots began circulating online. They weren't crystal clear, but the implications were enough to keep everyone talking. Behind the scenes, production was panicking. Love and hip-hop thrives on drama, but this was different. It wasn't just a storyline anymore. It was threatening real relationships and brand deals. Producers allegedly tried to calm everyone down, urging them to save the drama for cameras. But with emotions running high, nobody was listening. Yandy reportedly told them she wouldn't film another scene until the truth came out, while Mendeecees accused the show of twisting narratives to make him look guilty. Meanwhile, Mena's frustration was boiling over. She posted a cryptic message on Instagram: "Don't play with my name to fix your image." Fans instantly connected it to Mendeecees and Kirk. Within minutes, thousands of comments poured in, with people picking sides. Some defended her, saying she was unfairly dragged into men's drama, while others swore she was hiding something. Selma, on the other hand, tried to stay quiet, but silence only made her look guiltier in the eyes of fans. As the drama spread, old wounds resurfaced. People began revisiting past storylines: Yandy's old arguments with Samantha, Mendeecees' ex, and even Erica's previous conflicts with other cast members. The internet was piecing together a puzzle, and every move these celebrities made only added fuel. What once seemed like harmless reality TV gossip had now turned into an emotional battlefield. But the biggest question remained: why did Kirk expose it in the first place? Some insiders claimed he did it out of revenge, saying Mendeecees had backstabbed him in a previous business deal. Others said Kirk was just tired of seeing fake loyalty on camera and decided to tell the truth. Whatever his motive, one thing was certain: he had lit a fire that no one could put out as things spiraled. Yandy was seen leaving her home visibly emotional, refusing to speak to paparazzi. Friends close to her described her as heartbroken but strong, trying to process everything before making any decisions. She reportedly leaned on her inner circle for support, avoiding social media entirely while her PR team handled the noise. But even with all the silence, her pain was clear to everyone watching. And while Mendeecees maintained his innocence publicly, a court of public opinion wasn't so forgiving. Every old photo, every unexplained post, every interaction from years ago was being dissected like evidence. What was once a love story built on resilience now looked like it might be falling apart. But the drama wasn't done yet, because just as everyone thought the storm was settling, one more person decided to speak up, and their testimony changed everything. The next revelation didn't just shake the cast, it threatened to expose the real reason behind Kirk's decision to go public, and why Mendeecees' hidden life might not have been as secret as everyone believed. The next few days turned love and hip-hop's world completely upside down. After Kirk's allegations and the public blow-up between Yandy and Mendeecees, fans were sure things couldn't get worse. But they did, because someone from inside the circle finally decided to come forward. It started with a late-night live stream from a familiar face, a mutual friend of both Yandy and Mendeecees, who had worked with them on several projects. The person didn't name names directly, but they started hinting at details that lined up perfectly with everything Kirk had said. Let's just say they began carefully. Sometimes the truth don't need proof, just patterns. And these patterns been going on for years. Within minutes, the clip went viral. People were dissecting every pause, every word, every reference. And one thing was clear: Mendeecees' story was falling apart. Yandy, who had been silent through most of the chaos, finally broke down during a private conversation that leaked online. She could be heard saying, "I can't believe I defended him for this long. I built everything with that man. Everything." Her voice cracked, and fans immediately felt the pain behind her words. It wasn't just about cheating, it was about betrayal from someone she trusted with her entire life. Behind closed doors, insiders revealed that Yandy had already met with her legal team. She wasn't talking divorce yet, but she was protecting her assets. She wanted clarity, and if that meant confronting every woman rumored to be involved, she was ready to do it. Mena, who had already been battling her own drama, refused to meet Yandy in person, calling the situation too messy to get dragged deeper into. But Selma, the other woman tied to the story, didn't back down. The story didn't back down. According to witnesses, Selma and Yandy had a heated confrontation during a private gathering that was supposed to bring peace. Instead, it turned into a verbal war. Voices were raised, security had to step in, and cameras caught snippets of the chaos before production shut everything down. One insider claimed Yandy yelled, "You knew he was my husband," while Selma shot back, "He told me y'all were done." The tension was suffocating. And though neither woman wanted it filmed, the story was already too big to hide. Meanwhile, Mendeecees tried to do damage control. He took to social media to post a long emotional message claiming that lies were being spread for attention. He wrote about how people love to see families break apart and how he'd never disrespect the woman who held him down. But instead of calming fans, the post backfired. Many accused him of playing the victim, saying his words didn't match his actions. Some fans even pointed out that he hadn't directly denied the allegations, just redirected the narrative toward sympathy. Kirk, on the other hand, wasn't backing down. In a podcast interview that aired shortly after, he doubled down on his claims, saying, "If I expose something, it's because I'm tired of the fake. "Don't come to me acting righteous when you know what you did." He didn't reveal new evidence, but the confidence in his tone made people believe he had more tucked away. The tension between him and Mendeecees grew so deep that mutual friends started taking sides. The love and hip-hop community was officially divided: Team Yandy, Team Mendeecees, and those who just wanted the drama to end. As the days passed, Yandy's pain started to turn into resolve. She began focusing on her work again, attending events and posting motivational quotes that hinted at healing. Fans flooded her comments with love and encouragement, praising her strength and grace. Some even said she was carrying the whole show with her dignity alone. But behind that calm exterior, Yandy was still processing everything. Sources say she couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't just about infidelity. It was about manipulation and betrayal from multiple people she trusted, even though she hadn't spoken to Kirk since the drama erupted. She privately admitted that maybe he was right to bring the truth to light. It hurt, but she couldn't ignore the patterns anymore. Meanwhile, Mena's involvement started to fade from the headlines as Selma became the main target. Old photos of her and Mendeecees surfaced online, some innocent, others questionable. One particularly damaging image showed the two of them at a private event months before the rumors began, looking far too comfortable. Selma tried to explain it away as just business, but fans weren't buying it. Every new detail seemed to confirm what Yandy feared most: that this wasn't just gossip. Production tried to use the situation to their advantage, planning an explosive reunion special that would force everyone to face off. But Yandy wasn't having it. She reportedly told producers she wouldn't participate in staged healing for ratings. For her, this was real life, not a storyline. Still, behind the scenes, cameras were rolling. And every tear, every argument, every confrontation was being documented in one emotional moment that never aired but was leaked by crew members. Mendeecees was seen apologizing to Yandy, saying, "I messed up." Maybe not how they're saying, but "I messed up." It wasn't a full confession, but it was enough to confirm that some level of guilt existed. Yandy's response was quiet but powerful. "I don't need you to say sorry. I just need peace." That line echoed across social media as fans shared clips and memes, calling it one of the most heartbreaking moments in the franchise's history. By the time the dust settled, Kirk had vanished from the public eye, refusing to feed the story further. Erica moved on to her next project. Selma deleted her social media accounts entirely. And Yandy, though scarred, came out stronger. She focused on her kids, her business, rebuilding herself outside the chaos. As for Mendeecees, his reputation took a serious hit. While some loyal fans stood by him, many walked away, saying they'd lost respect. He continued to post motivational messages, but they no longer carried the same weight. The world had seen too much. The truth about what really happened between Mendeecees, Selma, and Erica may never be fully known. Some say Kirk exaggerated parts of the story, while others believe he only scratched the surface. But one thing is undeniable: this scandal exposed cracks that had been forming for years. And no matter how much damage control was done, the scars remained by the end of it all. Yandy learned the hardest lesson of all. Sometimes the people who smile in your corner are the same ones who hold the knife behind your back. And as she moved forward, one thing became clear: this wasn't the end of her story. It was the start of a new era where she would never let loyalty blind her from the truth again. This story reminds everyone that no matter how glamorous life looks on camera, the truth behind the scenes can be messy, painful, and unpredictable. What happened between Yandy Mendeecees and Kirk wasn't just another round of reality TV drama. It was a reminder that even the strongest relationships can crumble when honesty disappears. But through all the betrayal and heartbreak, Yandy's strength stood out. She didn't lash out, she didn't chase clout, she chose silence and self-respect. And in a world that rewards chaos, that's what made her story hit harder than any headline ever could. Fans weren't just watching a breakup. They were witnessing a woman reclaim her peace after years of loyalty and sacrifice. Still, questions remain. Did Kirk go too far by exposing it all? Was Mendeecees misunderstood? Or did he finally get caught in his own web? And what about Erica and Selma? Were they victims of the same lies, or willing participants in a secret that destroyed everything? The truth might still be unraveling. If you've ever been in Yandy's shoes, torn between love, truth, and self-worth, then you know the kind of strength it takes to walk away with dignity. Tell us in the comments whose side you're on and what you think really happened behind closed doors. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications, because this story is far from over. And the next chapter might expose more than anyone's ready for.